In this video, we're going to give you an in-depth understanding of the Chart tab. This is going to be where you spend the majority of your time as a trader. So as you can see up here on the top, I have charts selected. But if you notice, there's nothing that shows up on my screen. So over here on the right-hand side, these are also different menu buttons that allow you to show and hide different functionalities within the chart function. So if I want to display a chart, I'll go ahead and hit chart, and you can see it displays the chart. Now, if you look up here, we can see we're looking at the Tesla symbol. If I wanted to see the ETF SPY, which tracks the S&P 500, I could just type in SPY and hit enter. As you can see, the chart has updated with the proper ticker symbol. What you're seeing on the screen is a daily chart of the S&P 500. If you want to change this from a daily chart to, say, a 5-minute chart, you can come up here to this button, select it, and click 5-day, 5-minute. If this selection is not here, you can go into the time frame function, intraday, select how many days back you want to see, and select the time interval that you would like. So in our case, 5 minutes. If you wanted 10 minutes, you could select 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, so on and so forth. Once you hit OK, your charts will update and it'll show you the proper time frame. Now looking here, each one of these candlesticks represents a 5-minute time period instead of an entire day. Now there are quite a few different time frames we can select when setting up our charts, and sometimes it's helpful to save these as favorites if they're not already saved. If we wanted to do that, we can come back in here underneath our time frame. We can select what we want. So say we want 20-day, 10 minutes. And then we can hit this little star down here. And when we hit the star down here, it populates back over here on our favorites menu. This makes it very easy to customize your charts and your time frames and to be able to switch back and forth when you're trying to take a top-down or a bottom-up approach. Now, one thing I like to do when I set up my custom time frames are order them from the shortest time frame to the longest time frame. To me, this just keeps me organized and it makes it easier for me to switch between time frames. In order to do this, you would click Customize List, and then you can select whatever time frame that you want and you can move it to its respective location. So in this case, this is a 10-minute chart and I want to put it in front of the 15-minute chart. So I'll go ahead and hit up until I get above the 15-minute chart, hit apply, OK. Now next time I come into my favorites, you'll notice that that 10-minute chart is ahead of that 15-minute chart. Now if we look at the chart, you can see two different colors in the background. You can see black right here and gray right here. The black shows you when the candlesticks are within the actual trading hours. The gray shows you pre and post market trading. If your charts do not show the gray and it is all black, you are just looking at the candles that are available during the time period between the open and the close. Now I previously showed you how to go in and change your time frames and click this customize list. When you do this, it brings you to chart settings. Another way to get to your chart settings is just clicking this gear icon right here. If you look up at the top, you can see there's quite a few different menus that we can go into. This one right here should look familiar to you because it is the last one that we just talked about. If your chart is not showing the pre-market and post-market data, you can come over to equities and make sure this extended hours checkbox is checked. So mine is checked. If I went ahead and unselected it and hit apply, you'll see all the gray lines have gone away. Now each one of these dashed lines is the separation from the previous day to the current day. Now if we go back and we look at just our chart, one thing that bugs a lot of traders is how close the price action, how close the candlesticks are to the edge of the window. And this is something that bugs me during the day too. So one of the other settings I like to do on my platform is I like to come back to settings, I like to go to time access, and I like to increment this expansion area up. And what this is asking you is how many candles in front of the current candle do you want blank? So if we just went ahead and put in 20 candles and hit apply, you can see how the chart just shifted over, and this gives us a little bit more room and makes it a little bit easier to be able to see the candles as they start to form. Now if we want to zoom in a little bit closer on these candles, we can go ahead and left click, hold, and select a certain area. When we let go of the left button, it will zoom into the selected area. One thing you can notice is all of my green candles are hollow. This also can be adjusted in the settings if you want solid green candles. So coming back into the settings, going underneath appearance, you can come in here and you can select fill up, and that'll take your hollow candles and fill them green. There's also quite a few other settings in here and different chart types that you can select from. So if you wanted bar charts or just a line chart, you can come in here and make those selections. For all of my trading, I just use candlestick charts. So if we go ahead and hit apply, you can see that has changed the style of the candles on the screen. So a couple other quick things I want to show you before we wrap up this video is how to pan and how to zoom back out. So down here on the bottom you can see the scroll bar. This lets you scroll back in time and forward in time. You can also see the plus and minus. This allows you to zoom out or zoom in. The other thing that you can do is we can just double click on the screen and it'll go ahead and zoom back out to the chart time frame. If we're zoomed in and we want to pan, if you click the center button, the center scroll wheel on your mouse, it'll bring up this dialog box. We can go ahead and hit the pan tool and click and drag the screen back and forth. This makes it really easy to position the screen in a way it's easy to see the candlestick charts. Thank you for joining me in this video, and we'll see you in the next one.